it is one that actually requires that you go there to one of their state police centers to get the fingerprinting done. So it really does depend. And I guess that means we're probably going to have to, aside from getting the general answer, we're going to have to check with each state to determine what their particular requirements are.
So if you're running, Brian, if you're submitting the information in the NICAR system for an applicant, as long as you have that transaction number, they can do, you can do the fingerprints, but you want to put the transaction number on the fingerprint card and then mail it straight to the Arkansas State Police. That way they can make the connection. You have this transaction number to connect it to what you have submitted in the NICAR system.
Hang on a second. So I want to make sure I understand. So I'm glad you asked that question. Okay, what he's asking is, he's got a candidate that lives out of state. Okay. And the requirement is that we get the FBI, which includes the fingerprint. The question for the state of Arkansas, and I just don't know the answer about this, is that does that person that lives out of state have to come into Arkansas to have their fingerprint scanned here? And I'm hearing you, Nora, say that they don't, that he could enter in his information into NICAR, get the search ID number. This would be a case where we could put the number on the FBI card. He could send the FBI card to his person in whatever state they lived in. They could get their fingerprints rolled there. They could send the card back. Brian could send it to us. We could send it to the state police.
Right. They send it straight to the Arkansas State Police, and they're going to make the connection with the transaction number. But you can't do that, but I will double check. I can call Arkansas State Police, Stacy, and just to confirm that information. But I believe that they can do that. As long as the transaction number is there, they're going to make the connection between the facility, transaction number, so on and so forth. So I think that's doable, but I will confirm. I will reach out to the Arkansas State Police today and ask for that question.
And ladies, I just want to thank you for looking into this. And some of this may be ignorance on our part, trying again to follow the guidelines that you guys are providing for us, and maybe we're not doing it all quite right. But yes, if you come up with a good solution, especially again when we have those candidates that are on the East Coast, the West Coast, whatever it might be, if we can streamline that process, please provide us with something that's spelled out details, so our human resource managers can follow that. That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yes, and listen, if you guys ever have any questions about any of the regulatory checks, just ask it, because we are working through the process of how to get it set up and make it effective for everyone. You guys, especially as the providers and the ones that are using the system. Like, for example, I do not know all the answers. I'm not in it every day like Paige and Nora is in it every day. But if you guys identify something that the process could be different, or like an out of state where we really don't have that many of them, and it's something that we could change or work or at least ask, then let us know, because we don't mind at all. Like Nora calling over and asking Stacy at the state police, or us asking our privacy office, or asking for a legal opinion. We don't mind at all asking. And we don't know about all the little nuances like you guys do, because we're not entering them like you all are. And so we see on one side what it looks like on our end of the system and the process, but you guys are seeing a different view than what we don't see. You're seeing the provider end in the system. So again, anytime, just let us know. The answer may be no. The answer may be no, but I would much rather us ask than to just assume that it's a no. So that's a great conversation. Thank you for bringing those up.
I think you're muted on the iPhone.
Hey, Ashlyn, could you put your email address in the chat box?
You bet. I'll do that right now.
So So my name is Dennis Greer, and I just went through this process, and I came from Illinois, and I started the process really in Illinois. It was a very, very simple process. I went to the fingerprint providers in Illinois, had my fingerprints done, sent my card to the Arkansas State Police, and it was a very smooth and simple process, even though it was kind of time consuming, but it was a very, very smooth process. I had my ID number, it was already there, sent my card to the Arkansas State Police, bam, and it was done.
Thank you for sharing that information.
Hey,
Is
I
it,
have an update. Breaking news update. I just found out that I told you guys wrong information. There is one final NICAR training scheduled. It's actually going to be, I think Monday, this Monday the 7th. So this upcoming Monday at noon. And so I will send Ebony the link to send out to everyone, the Zoom link.
Great.
thank you so much, Paige. Does anybody else have any questions or any statements? All righty. So I did want to talk to you all about reporting serious incidents. Again, this is just something we've kind of run into. So please ensure that you are reporting serious incidents and child maltreatment to your licensing specialist by the next business day. And you can follow standard 110.12 and standard 110.17, just to kind of refresh yourself with that. Okay. We do have a new licensing specialist, Felicia Moore, and she will be working the southeastern part of the state. And I don't know if she's on here. I think she is, but if you could just say hello, Miss Felicia.
Hi guys, hi everybody.
Hey, is your camera working?
Yes, it's attached to my computer, but I'm using that computer as to power everything up, and it's a weird angle, so I didn't want to use it.
Okay. Okay. Well, Felicia, she may be new to your facility, and so we do appreciate her for joining our team. And I also did want to just go back and thank Paige and Nora. Their team has been working really hard to get those regulatory checks processed. I really do appreciate it. They have always been helpful when you all have questions, and been able to address those in a timely manner. So I did want to just acknowledge their team. So thank you so much.
Ms. Ebony, if I may add something else, I just went ahead and submitted the Arkansas State Police address and attention to the individual that normally gets these fingerprint cards. It's the Arkansas State Police. And it should be attention Stacy Dougherty. So for those who are going to submit the fingerprint cards, that's the address that it needs to go to. But before we leave, I do want to reiterate and remind everyone, for any reason, if you decide to run the FBI card, please notify us so we can immediately take care of it. I just, with this new law coming in pretty soon, just please notify us when you do that so we can do our process from our end. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or statements they need to address? Anything we can check on for you? Okay. I do want to just kind of recap the meeting. We had a few people that kind of joined late, so I'll try to be brief with this. So for everyone, if you could please be mindful of the summer heat when you have your children and youth doing outside activities. Just make sure that they're not getting overheated. Hopefully we won't have just a treacherous summer like we have in the past, but please be mindful of that. So for buildings and grounds, the licensing specialists are going to ensure that they're doing a very thorough review of the buildings and grounds. So please ensure that you are addressing any holes in the walls, markings on the walls, chip paint, and just overall cleanliness of your facilities. We know that there may be some ongoing issues at some facilities. However, we do want to ensure that some progress is being made to those issues. And just want to make sure that the children and youth have a decent place to stay. So we think they should be afforded that right. Okay. Please ensure that you are reporting serious incidents and maltreatment reports to the licensing specialist by the next business day. And you can follow that standard on 110.12 and 110.17 if you just need a refresher on that. So if you find out that your staff has an excluded offense, please ensure that you immediately let your licensing specialist know. That their licensing specialist is going to need to know your agency's actions to ensure that the person does not have direct and unsupervised contact with those children. So you can follow along with the standard 103.13 if you need a refresher for that. And then we also talked about, excuse me, legislative acts that have been passed and should be going into effect by July the 28th of this year. Act 269 is going to require FBR checks for all applicants. If you have any regulatory checks, so I keep saying both, but I'm just trying to get you guys used to regulatory, so we're referring to background checks. So if you have any regulatory check questions, please shoot them to me and I can get them to Paige and Nora. Act 673 is going to prohibit corporal punishment. So that will be in effect for placement and residential licenses. So no corporal punishment. And finally, Act 772. This is for psychiatric residential treatment facilities. If there is a request to increase the amount of beds or to obtain a new application, that must go through the Health Services Agency. That act will also give the Child Welfare Agency Review Board the ability to terminate a license that has not been operational for 12 months. And so I think that does it for our meeting for today. I did record it. I caught the end of it, so that's why I kind of recapped. But I will send the recording out to you all just for your knowledge. And again, if you have anything else, please send me an email. It's not a problem. Ashlyn, is there anything you'd like to end the meeting with?
Just to say thank you to you guys. I know that what you are doing is hard work and you are the experts in the field. And we look to you to raise up the children like nobody else can do. And so we really, really appreciate the time and the effort that you put in every day in the work that you do. So we might not say it enough, but please hear me say the division is so thankful for you and the work that you're doing on behalf of children. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
you too.
everyone.
Thank you.